Hello, guys. Okay, we're going to talk about the LAPD meeting that happened yesterday because we want to talk about justice, accountability, and really talk about what we read into the public record. Because if you're not paying attention, you should be. We sat there and laid out in undeniable black and white terms what we've known all along, that Scientology doesn't just protect abusers, it enforces the cover up. And now we have stated that public information on a public record. A mother inside Scientology admitting that she knew felonies have been committed against a child. And what did she do? Did she go to the police? Nah. Did she protect that child? Nope. Did she do exactly what Scientology trained her to do? Bingo. She agreed to cover it up. She followed the policy. The only crime in Scientology is getting caught. And she made sure that that didn't happen. She made a choice to make sure that that didn't happen. And here's the kicker. The LAPD already had this document. And they have done nothing about it. They knew the evidence existed. They read it. They verified it. And then they did nothing. Let me say that again. Nothing. No arrest, no charges, no accountability, no mandated reporters to be found anywhere around. Because as we said yesterday, kneecapping mandated reporters has been the specialty of these people, ensuring that they can have unfettered access to kids while having no mandated reporters around the kids that they got full unfettered access to is the MO. If you're asking yourself why, because last time I checked, the California law is actually clear about what happens when someone knows about a child abuse and fails to report it. Under Penal Code 11165.7, clergy, including but not limited to Scientology so-called ministers, are mandated reporters. That means the second they know about child abuse, they are legally required to report it. No exceptions, no loopholes, no religious exemptions. And let's not forget Penal Code 11166, which makes law enforcement officers mandated reporters also. So someone explain to me, how did the LAPD get this document? See a mother admitting to the cover-up of felonies and decide to do nothing? Who made that call? Who saw this confession, this open admission of a criminal conspiracy and thought, let's just sit on it. You know, we really don't have anything. We can't really find anything. There's nothing suspicious going on to the kids that sign billion-year contracts. Nothing to see. Only respect. Respect to the sycophants of a convicted felon. That everyone is too stupid to understand that is being pitched as an American-bred god. Imagine pitching a felon as a god. How stupid does law enforcement need to be to buy that pitch with a fucking straight face? Imagine being an investigator and not even being able to put that fact together for yourself. Who decided that Scientology once again gets to operate above the law? Because that's what we need to find at the LAPD, you guys. That's what we need to find. Who is making these calls that Scientology is, nope, they're above the law. Oh, they were practicing a religious. Oh, they were, saving a world. Oh, yeah, they got all these Tax incentives to cover up crimes. Can someone really at the IRS start calling us, the kids that grew up in Scientology, and start explaining that part? Since we didn't go to school, since we have no high school diploma, since we have no education, IRS agents start making some phone calls to the kids that grew up in Scientology and explain why someone can pay 100 grand and float a needle and all of a sudden be all in the clear, all full blown in the clear. Nothing to see here, judges. Nothing to see here, Clearwater Police. Nothing to see here, LAPD. We got this handled, and we got them a tax write-off too, just to make sure that, they really save that money that they're really donating to save our world. Because we're going to be very, very clear here about the playbook that has been seen here before. The Catholic Church did the exact same thing. They protected predators, they silenced victims, they got people in power to look the other way, and then they got away with it for decades until someone said, finally, enough. So here we are again, a different institution, so-called religious, so-called the IRS, said they're all on a mission to save a world, and they're also the IRS. In what world is the IRS not implicated facilitating that level of donation? Because you know what, IRS, you don't get to say, oh, we had no shred of a literal clue. They gave you all the rhetoric. You didn't read it. That's your problem. You didn't want to do the research. That's your problem. You didn't want to open what the convicted felon said to do and have full kids exposed to. That is the problem of the IRS of these United States of America. The ones that have been incentivizing grown adult men and women to launder their felonies via a Scientology hotel. Because that's the difference here. In case nobody noticed, the Catholic Church was just, trying to put out the fires of all the, PDF files they had in their ranks. This is a different thing. These ones were brokering the laundering, monetizing when they found one. How much money did Greg, that was announced in that letter yesterday, do you think spent in Scientology telling them time, place, form, and event of every time he masturbated on a printer looking at CP, every time he went on every single one of those computers looking at CP, telling him exactly what room it was, telling him exactly what link it was, telling him exactly what he was watching, telling him exactly what he was doing to himself, telling exactly how he was lubricating his dick to make him come, and, mind you, could have been a child that was pulling that detail out of him. If I was placed there, I would have been put to do it. Debbie Cook would have come, oh, Serge, come here. We really need you to pull this guy's withholds. Starting at 12 years old. Starting at 12 years old, that's what they're teaching the kids. You're really going to float this, and the IRS is all about this, and we are here to save our world. That's the level of degenerate, dangerous, satanical, disgusting clown they become. So here we have the same shit with a different air freshener with the Catholic Church. And, crimes against kids, check mark. Systemic obstruction, check mark. Mandated reporters nowhere to be found, check mark. Check, check, check. So where is the grand jury? Where's the investigation? Where are the arrests of every single person who sat on this information and did nothing? Because we're done waiting. Done. We demand that every mandated reporter who failed to act is held accountable, starting with the Scientology officials who covered this up, and then the LAPD officers who let them get away with it. The evidence is there, the law is clear, and now it is on the literal record.
And good results. We just really need it back. Also, for agenda items, I support the donated items. donation items, and I support agenda items L and M. And with that, I hope everybody stays.
Says the same company that paid
Support agenda
time our was a child.
our agenda items. I support the donation items, and I support agenda items L and M. And with that, I hope everybody stays healthy and safe, and I yield the rest of my time.
Okay, next we have Serge Delmar.
So this is the follow-up letter of what Jenna just mentioned. I was a child that was trafficked into a Scientology hotel as well. And exactly like Jenna said, we were horrifically abused. This is what's in LAPD's possession. A letter that says, from a Scientology mother, Greg, Bill and I, to say the least, are disappointed and disgusted with your perverted sexual addiction. On a personal level, you put us at risk by using our home computers to go to child porn sites. The internet is monitored activity, and you know, as many lawsuits that we consult, testify in, and all the subpoenas we get at any time, our computers could have ended up in some courtroom. Child pornography is a federal offense. As a law student, you knew. You lived with us at our expense and for anybody who wants to say, oh, but they were in a cult, I thought they didn't know the law. The man was a law student. The Scientology parent had a business that required her to know what subpoenas were, federal laws were, etc. So every party here is educated in the law. Imagine that ignorance of the law is still not an excuse to commit a crime. Imagine when you know the law, you know that it's a crime, you know that it's completely criminal. You put it in writing because you're sending it to the people at your hotel where it's very safe for them to write whatever type of admissions of criminal behavior. Because I've told you all a million times, and this is what corroborates what I've been screaming about on the top of my lungs since I started my YouTube channel. Never mind that people are still confused. They're still out there chasing whatever in the hell else anyone in this community wants to chase. These are the facts. This is a corroboration. This is why I've been screaming. And for all of those that are going, oh yeah, but why is Serge always screaming? Ask yourselves, why are y'all so complacent sitting there with your twiddling your thumbs while kids get abused, while mothers find out all about it, while everyone obstructs justice? Going back to that assignment, I said, go and do a clay demo on how to read a motherfucking room. Violated practically every room in our home. You are in treason to Bill and I. Not only did you masturbate all over my house, but you also had to violate our offices the same. Not only did you masturbate all over our house, what have I told you that these people are obsessed with finding out about? Masturbation is their favorite withhold. Getting people to talk about masturbation is their candy. They all talk about it. They all discuss it in detail. They have kids asking adults about this. They all think this is a way to save our world because a convicted felon wrote it down. So for anyone that was thinking I was taking it too far, or I would say I wasn't taking it far enough, this document corroborates what I have been saying. This is the receipt that no one else can say what the Scientology parents didn't know. They must have not known. They must have not known. They must have just really gone there with a really great hope to save a world. Where was that hope? Where was that good faith that you all want to claim they had? By all means, start typing what it is. Same company that paid $33,000 for you to go to law school. As if that wasn't bad enough, you took it a step further and used our clients' computers and printers to masturbate to, and then the Commonwealth Title Company's employees caught you and confronted you. So we have the title company employees who are wogs. mind you, WOGs, found the Scientologist visiting CP websites, masturbating, confronted him. Confronted him with what? Did they call the police? No. Did they do anything to ensure that this man was? No. No. They didn't do that.
And you continued anyways. Let us not even talk to you about the lawyers Ventura.
Lawyers Ventura. Let us not even talk about Lawyers Ventura. What in the literal hell was going on with the Lawyers Ventura? Why are lawyers and Scientologists in bed together? Why are people that know how the law works in bed together, covering up criminal activity for each other? Where is the ignorance of the law that they're all going to want to claim now? Oh, I was born in a cult and I had no literal idea. This man had a $33,000 law school bill to teach him how the law worked.
Just another incident. The whole title industry knows that we are Scientologists, and you have
Shout out to the entire title company that knows and uses this title company. Shout out to you all.
done a lot to damage our good opinion they had of us.
See? Oh, you've done so much to really damage their reputation, because that's what this is about. Damaging people's reputations. Covering up people's reputations. What was my reputation? It cannot be damaged. I can't afford to have a reputation getting damaged by felonies that were committed against a 6-year-old when I can convince a 6-year-old that they can float their needle and, whatever felony committed against them will be erased by way of L. Ron Hubbard's magic machine that floats away felonies. That's the magic. Just in case anybody didn't understand that was what was being sold, that is what is literally being sold. That's what they're getting a tax write-off for.
What you did in regards to my daughter, she's totally capable of handling by herself.
What you did in regards to my daughter, she's totally capable of handling by herself. So let that sink in. This is the mother. This is the mother-in-law saying that. So what type of crimes was this mother okay with having her adult daughter receive? That she was like, oh, she really should have just handled it herself. Literally.
But as unspeakable as your action in regards to my 7-year-old family member.
Unspeakable actions to my 7-year-old family member. The most vulnerable time of our childhood was when we were those ages. The full-blown hell that was being run on us by these adults, the void of scruples, the void of common sense, the void of any rationality, drunk on L. Ron Hubbard and his ideas, where they reframe torturing a child to saving a world. That's the Scientology parent. That's the Scientology mother. Because here she was telling everyone just how far she knows everything went. Imagine being the mother-in-law that knows that and is willing to cover it up. Imagine you're that.
Let me be specific about that for the other parties who have been CC'd.
Yeah, let me be specific about that so the other parties really know. Let's just make sure that the crime I'm about to discuss, all the parties that were CC'd, including the case supervisor. Case supervisor. They have people supervising this. Is that a mandated reporter? Glad that you asked. The answer is no, because Scientology never gave an F about mandated reporting. They've never given an F about it. In 1997, when the law came out, they just changed everything to a euphemism and said, aren't we so smart? Aren't we so easy to fool? All these LAPD people, all these Clearwater PD people, all these law enforcement idiots that have no idea how to investigate their way out of a paper bag. We change all the terms in the reports, and then all of a sudden criminal acts are just reframed as whatever delusional euphemisms these people came up with in furtherance of covering up the racketeering, child trafficking, child abuse cover up for profit scheme.
Her at the beach with her class, all of a sudden you had to pee, and you as an adult male with no medical problems could not.
Yeah. An adult man with no medical problem. So this whole idea that, he could have tried to go, oh, but I was just trying to pee. What's the big deal? And it was an emergency. Here, this woman knows that it wasn't an emergency, that he has that there was no reason that the guy waited for everyone in her class to leave. How is a 7-year-old left with a man that is doing this to her? And this woman did nothing, full knowing what the law says. Forget about the CP, like the actual thing in the physical universe this man did. Forget about the fact that he was also committing horrific felonies there, as alleged by this woman in this report. So imagine if this report only says this, how much is known by this man's case supervisor, ethics officer, Julian Schwartz, CC'd on the letter, literally CC'd on the letter. So for anybody that thinks that no one CC'd and no one knows and everyone's just too busy saving a world, this is what they're doing it, as they call it, saving a world.
Not wait to go next door to the restaurant, and you had to wait until everyone in her class had left and take her into a portable toilet because it was such an emergency, and you were so concerned for her safety. You told her to close her eyes, and she peeked. She yelled at her when she tried to handle her upset over what she saw.
A 7-year-old told to close her eyes as she's brought into a porta party for this man to so-called pee.
We asked her, what did you hear him pee? She said, I don't remember him pee. I don't know if he peed or just squeezed it.
A 7-year-old didn't know what in the F was going the F on. And this woman sat there typing, knowing what squeezing would mean, knowing that she should have pulled the string. Wait, what? What did you just say, 7-year-old? You said squeeze? Why in the F is a 7-year-old saying that something got squeezed when this man went to the bathroom? What, Martha? Hope you can put up your evidentiary video or audio on the screen as part of your public comments to enter into the record at the police commission meeting. What do you mean put that evidentiary video? I'm confused. Meta Taz, I'm very proud of everyone that did yesterday. It could not have been easy to do. It wasn't. It wasn't. It wasn't. I told you all I came back, got it. That's how I felt. That's how I felt. And you know what? Yeah, Anyways, no more kids in Scientology. They cannot consent. Those are the kids that need the help right now. FYI, everybody.
She has more to tell us. I'm sure she will. If I ever catch you,
She has more to tell us, and I'm sure she will. They will continue excavating it out of her. But what are they doing with the information? Glad that you asked. Nothing. So why in the F would grown adults be sitting there asking a kid these type of questions if all they're going to do with the information is nothing? Shuffle a bunch of paper around and pretend that that did something. Imagine.
even looking at her, I will call the cops.
If I ever catch you looking at her, lady, did you get the part where your 7-year-old said what she said? In what world are you threatening action when the crime was already committed? If you do this again, if I ever see you with this, it's all performative theatrics. These Scientology moms are literally fronting. Literally, completely, and utterly fronting. I'm really going to call the cops. Imagine that she never called them. Imagine she'd never told them anything. Imagine she felt so secure in the little way she could communicate with her little hotel cult, where, you know, she could be very transparent. And that was applauded by the people at the cult. Oh, you're being so transparent with us. You're really telling us all the withholds that you know about. That is really great. We're going to really save our world really soon.
Do not let me see you with any other child. I will go to the parents and tell them all about you. This is a promise.
Oh, she promises to tell parents all about him if she sees him around other childs. And he's supposed to what? Really contain himself? Because he really contained after the title company people caught him masturbating all over their stuff and putting CP on their literal computers. Make it make sense, somebody. The performative theatrics of a Scientology mother pretending she cares, pretending she's doing something about the handling. Do you see the level of self-righteousness? Do you see how she considers herself above the law? Do you see how she can make herself any type of exclusion from the law? As she admits, against her Fifth Amendment right, mind you. She didn't have to write that. She didn't have to write that she knew all of this, but she did it because she expected to be cradled and canoodled in the habitat of these hotels, where they are cradled and canoodled, as they're talking about complete, utterly illegal things. That's what this is. Like, in case nobody noticed, in case everybody got too confused, too caught up with altered importances. I'm sick of the altered importance. I'm sick of it. I'm really, really sick of the altered importance. Because if nobody understands the gravitas of a Scientology mother writing this, the fact that all Scientology mothers were writing things like this the minute they found out about this, then you don't understand anything and you cannot help anybody. If you don't understand that as a grown adult, then you cannot help a thing. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you all soon. Bye-bye.